Welcome to Grandad's Shed. I've just changed the rear cassette on this bike. The wear in the chain is such that it's not meshing nicely into the teeth. Simple job now is to replace the chain, and for that I have a 5-speed chain. Hopefully it's the right length. We'll pull this one off and have a look. Typically it's good practice to always replace the chain when you replace the rear cassette, because these two components require to mesh quite tightly and it improves the feel of the bike when you're cycling. The front chain ring can also require replacing. Typically you'll get through 3 or 4 cassettes and chains before you need to address the front one, depending on the conditions you're cycling in, how dirty and gritty the environment is. So we need to break this chain open. There's a couple of ways of doing that. One of them is to find the chain link, which is going around here. You can push these two halves together, feed your shoelace between them, but I have a chain breaking tool. This chain's junk anyway, so I'm just going to punch a link out and remove it from the system. These tools work by driving a pin through the chain, so you can drop it onto the chain and tighten down the pin. As you tighten down, you can see the pin is driving through the chain, pushing the center link out. Importantly, if you are going to reuse this link and want to put it back together, do not drive the pin all the way out through the second side. It'll be virtually impossible to reinstate the pin into the chain if you do. But as we're not using this chain again, I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way through. There we are. That's the pin removed. And then you can retract what went ping then was the tension coming out of the derailleur. Before we remove the chain, let's just make a note of the path the chain takes. The chain comes off the rear cassette, it comes along, it goes through the front derailleur, goes around the front cog, along, and then it comes up around the lower idler pulley, which is the one stretched out here. So we've got the lower idler pulley, the upper idler pulley, and then finally back to the top cog again. So when we reroute the chain, after swapping it, we need to put the same path in. If you get it wrong, it's highly likely that you can cause damage to the front derailleur. Seen it happen. Here's the chain we're going to be using. It's a 3 to 8 speed chain, ideal for our 5-speed bike here. 117 links. We'll check it in a minute to see if it's the right length. So, tip it out the box. And in here we've got the chain and the chain link, the joiner. We can just draw the chain out of the system. Like that. And we want to compare it against the new chain to check we've got the right length. So let's untangle this. Do we have the same number of links? That's going to be close enough in total length. The link count is different. Right, so that's about half a link of wear in the old chain. Right, time to feed in the chain. Now we need to feed the chain around the derailleur, a bit people often struggle with. There we are, ready to now join it together. Here are the chain link join pieces. They're symmetric on this chain, therefore it doesn't matter which one goes in first and which way up they end up. There are other types of chain link joiner which do matter. They will have both pins on one piece and a plate. Now, going through a derailleur, the asymmetry of those pieces does matter because it will catch when you shift. So these ones are fine for a derailleur. So we pop one in one piece, one in the other piece. We can take the two pieces, push them past each other, and they just lock in. Now we're working against the tension of the chain there. Give them a pull, and there your chain is made. You want to double check that the pin has seated into the back of the chain link there, and if it hasn't quite seated, you can pull down on a tapered object such as these pin nose pliers to push the links apart to make sure they seat. One last thing to do will be add a touch of oil to it, and that's one chain replaced. Thanks for watching.